Discovery, this is ESPN. How do you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear. How do you hear us?
Hear you very clearly. Thank you very much. We're ready to start if you are.
Hey, we're ready for questions.
Mike and Mike, pleased to take you now, boldly take you where we have certainly never gone before, to outer space, where our friend Ken Ham is standing by with the entire crew from the Space Shuttle Discovery, live with us right here on Mike and Mike in the Morning. Ken, can you hear us?
I agree. You are loud and clear. How are we doing?
We are doing great. You sound terrific. Let's start with this. Just how far away from us right now are you?
Boy, that's a good question. Let me check the map since we got to... Oh, well, it depends. Are you guys in Bristol today?
Yes, we are.
Okay, we're just going out over the North Atlantic, so I'm guessing maybe 600 miles away from you. That's pretty close.
Pretty close in some instances, but not so much here. All right, Ken, I got to ask you, what are you doing up there?
That's a good question, Golik. We've been doing a lot of good work up here, taking care of Space Station and making it bigger, and also rotating crew members. We brought one crew member up, brought another one back. He's right here behind me, Garrett. You can see him in the picture there. But I'll tell you, maybe what you're maybe a little more interested in is what we've been doing in our off time while we're on Space Station. And we've been trying to invent new sports, which has been quite an interesting endeavor. And I think the possibilities are limitless.
So give us an example. What sorts of new sports have you tried to invent?
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Well, there's one difficulty we have, and that's that we're surrounded by a lot of expensive equipment in all directions. So it's sort of hazardous to our paycheck to really experiment to the fullest. However, we were tossing around a foam football the other day and learned a few things. One of them is whenever we throw a football on Earth, you adjust and compensate for gravity. So when you're in orbit in zero gravity and try to throw a football, everything goes high, and you have to relearn how to throw just about anything.
Ken, what sports are you missing the most while you're up there that you're missing down here?
Without a doubt, that'll be baseball. And we're fortunate to have a lot of people down in Mission Control sending us news about how my Astros are doing. And, of course, Garrett's Yankees. And my wife, Michelle, who is an avid Cubs fan, Greenie, you'll love that. I'm getting all the reports on how they're doing, and it looks like this might be the year, right? However, trying to play baseball in Space Station is a really hazardous duty. So we figured out that we can frame a picture in stop-action photo with the ball hanging in the air and get the perfect swing with the perfect contact, but we really don't want to actually make contact.
All right, I like the sound of this. Now, Garrett, we are told, is a huge Yankee fan and actually threw out the first pitch at a game between the Yankees and the Red Sox. If he can get on the mic for a second, Garrett, what do you think of this whole idea of turning Jabba Chamberlain into a starter?
Well, I don't want to get too much into trouble with the new boss, so I'd say, he was outstanding as a late innings reliever, and of course he has a lot of potential as a starter. I think no matter when he pitches, it's great to have his presence on the mound, and we'll just have to see how the Jabba experiment goes, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Let me ask you a question, Garrett. If you threw out the first pitch in space at the same distance that you threw it on the baseball field, how long would it take the ball to reach home plate?
I was told there would be no math during this interview. It would be a split second. We're moving at 17,500 miles an hour. So if that ball is going that fast, first of all, I wouldn't want to be the catcher.
We are in space right now on Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio with, among others, Ken Ham, who's a new friend of ours here and is a proud graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy. So, Ken, we have to get into this. Could you please tell us your emotions as you watched your beloved Navy finally beat Notre Dame last year?
Yeah, I'm sure that Golick wasn't going to ask that question. Yeah, that was an absolutely tremendous day. Watching that game, the phone in my house was ringing like crazy, and I was calling all my friends towards the end of that game, which was, if you watched it, I'm sure you did, was an incredible game. So, yeah, it was a wonderful point in Naval Academy history, and we'll see if we can do it again next year.
Now, you're going to have to wait another 43 years, and I don't want to talk about that subject anymore. Let's talk about something near and dear to my heart, Ken, and that's the food up there. Now, I tasted some of the food you're eating down here, and I thought it was pretty good. So what's the fare up there? What's some of your favorite stuff you're eating?
Well, I'm holding right here some of that cocktail shrimp that you tried the other day on your show. But this is before you add water, and it doesn't look quite as good. But as you know, when you add water, it tastes pretty darn good. You had the Fiesta chicken. That's one of our favorites up here. We end up fighting about it every day because there's not enough. And here's if you can see that there, we got a can of some of our Russian cosmonauts food. And this is, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but it's enticingly called meat in jelly.
Well, that segues perfectly into my next question, which is, how do you go to the bathroom up there? I mean, this is a primary question in my life, no matter where I am. I mean, at a ball game, my first question is, where am I going to go to the bathroom? So now I'm hundreds of miles into outer space. That is a primary concern. What exactly, and bearing in mind that we are a family show, what exactly is the bathroom situation like up there?
Well, the way you phrased it, how do you go to the bathroom? The answer is very carefully. You take your time, you go slowly, and you clean up your mess, because there's only one little toilet area, if you will, and we all have to use it. So it's kind of a messy endeavor. However, we clean up after ourselves, and we take some time, and well, everything in space takes a little bit of time, so that's one of them.
I apologize for my partner asking such a gross question to you. Let me ask you this, Ken. I know you took some stuff up into space with you. What are some of the pieces of memorabilia you brought up there?
Yeah, we're allowed to bring a couple of personal items with us, and one of the items that I brought personally was the jersey that Craig Biggio wore in his last baseball game. He was nice enough to pass that on and allow us to make the trip with it, and we're going to bring it back and present it back to him sometime later this summer.
In all seriousness, all of America is watching with great interest what you guys are doing. Can you explain in sort of layman's terms exactly what the mission was and how you guys feel it has gone?
Well, the biggest part of our mission was to bring the Japanese pressurized module, also known as Kibo, which is a 32,000-pound cylinder of habitable living space. It's going to be, or it is, the largest module on the space station to date. We brought that up in our payload bay and docked and assembled that onto the space station. Did 3 spacewalks, which had to do with a lot of assembly tasks as well as general space station maintenance, and then we rotated crew members. That's the bulk of our mission there, and that took, what was it, about 9 dock days to get all of that work done. And that was pretty much solid work. We're all kind of tired now at this point, and just about ready to come home.
Well, listen, Ken and everyone up there, Garrett Reisman and the entire crew, this has been really a unique experience for us. Thank you for all the work you're doing. Come home safe, and we look forward to seeing you back down here on Earth. Thanks a lot for the time today, guys.
Thank you.
You bet, Greeny and Golick. And I have one question for you guys. I understand the pentathlon is 1-0 in favor of Golick, or is my news outdated?
It's an embarrassment. I beat him in horse, and I will beat him in every event there is. It's just the classic athlete against non-athlete. It's an embarrassment what's going on.
I find it unbelievable that news has gotten to outer space. Ken and everybody, best of luck up there. Take care. Come home safe.
All right, thanks, fellas.